Jack, do you know what time it is?
It's game time. Y'all ready for this? Oh no, they were ready for that.
10 years. Could you believe that it's officially been 10 years since the LEGO Movie released back on February the 7th, 2014? It's crazy to think that it's been that long since this great movie came out. Now this video itself is mostly just going to be about my personal history with the movie, but I will do a short review of the film itself, mostly just explaining what I love about the film. Now I won't be talking about the history and production of the film, because I want this video to come out on time. Also because I think all of you should go watch Rebel Taxi's amazing LEGO Movie video. Pan seriously makes amazing and high quality videos, so go watch him if you want. But anyways, with that being said, here's my history with the LEGO Movie and how I became obsessed with it. So when I was a kid, I played a ton, and I mean a ton of LEGO games. And although I had other games, most of which were licensed games, the LEGO games were always my favorites as a kid, despite all the other kids questioning my tastes in video games. Now, I had all the classic LEGO games that everyone knows and loves, like LEGO Star Wars, LEGO Indiana Jones, my copy came with the Kung Fu Panda game, and of course LEGO Batman 1 and 2, which are easily one of the greatest video games ever made. Now as a kid, I also watched the LEGO shows that were airing on Teletoon, like Ninjago and Shima. I also watched and enjoyed the classic LEGO stop motion videos on YouTube that almost everyone my age has watched at least once, with my personal favorite being Forest Fire 101.
Well, I guess it's just you and me, Bathound.
Shut up! Your voice sounds like a dying cow. Now go make me a sandwich, you fatty.
Wait, Batman, if he joins, what'll happen to me? Robin, I said go to bed!
Definitely suitable for a 6-year-old to watch, but whatever, I still watched and adored them as a kid. Now after telling you about this, it's fair to say that I really liked LEGO as a kid. And you're absolutely correct, because despite not really having any LEGO sets of my own, I still had a lot of interest in LEGO. Now come September 2013, I just entered the 2nd grade, and my mom decided to take me and my family to the movies. Now what movie did we watch? Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. Yeah, this is a movie I honestly forgot I even saw in theaters. Not to say that the film was bad. I mean, it's just okay because it's simply just not as good as the first movie, and because Bruce Campbell is not in the movie. Now, some of you might be questioning, Ultra, what the hell does this have to do with the LEGO Movie? Well, you see, all of these stories I'm telling you all connect together, no pun intended. Because when I saw Cloudy 2 in theaters, they of course played trailers to other family films like Rio 2 and Mr. Peabody and Sherman. But there was one trailer that really stood out to me. One trailer that changed my life forever. And that trailer was Mr. Peabody and Sherman, baby! Okay, as much as I was excited for Peabody and Sherman as a kid, it will never compare to the real movie that I was hyped and excited for as a kid. And it's a moment in my life that I will never forget.
Hello, I'm Emmett. I'm just gonna come right out. I have no idea what's going on. At all.
I couldn't actually believe it. They were making an actual LEGO movie for theaters. And on that day, my life would be changed forever. Now, the idea of a theatrical LEGO movie actually dates back to around 2009, which was around the time when the Transformers movies were becoming massively successful and popular. However, when the Lego Movie was first announced, a lot of people were not very enthusiastic about it, because many people thought it was just going to be a simple commercial for Lego. Now, unlike all of those people, I was excited about the Lego Movie since I was a Lego-obsessed kid, and because I didn't really form opinions at the age of 7. But anyways, after I saw Cloudy 2, I don't really remember much hype for the Lego Movie, since I continued life the way it was. But when the time came, I was ready. I was ready to experience cinematic history with my family and cousins. So with all my hype, I was ready to witness what I believed was going to be the greatest movie ever made. 'Cause I mean, it's the Lego Movie after all. And my local Cineplex even had this giant Lego Movie poster hanging up in front of the building for everyone to see. So anyways, I went in, got some popcorn, got some candy, got a drink, and I was ready for awesomeness.
Everything is awesome.
That was the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life. I mean, nothing can possibly top this, said 7-year-old me, because I was absolutely in love with this movie as a kid. So much so that when I saw commercials for the DVD, I knew I had to get it on the exact day it came out because it was on my 8th birthday. So it made perfect sense for my 7-year-old self to ask my parents for the perfect birthday gift. Actually, I think that DVD copy of the Lego Movie might have actually been the only thing I wanted for my 8th birthday, at least going off my goldfish memory. So anyways, I watched that movie to death on DVD, and I loved it so much that I actually took it to school to watch on my last day of grade 2, because that's what we used to do before streaming got really big. But anyways, over the years, the Lego Movie was always a movie I loved, but nowhere near the same level of love 7-year-old me had. Mainly because as I got older, I started falling in love with other movies that became my new personal favorites. But how exactly does the Lego Movie hold up after 10 years? Is the movie as awesome as we remembered? And why exactly didn't this film win Best Animated Feature? Like, seriously, why did they give the award to...
That was his mistake.
Actually, why the hell wasn't this film nominated for an Oscar? Anyways, I might as well actually talk about the damn movie. So, the Lego Movie is of course a movie about Lego. And in this film, we open up with an amazing and well-animated opening that always gets me excited to watch. So in the film, we follow Emmett, this very normal and very basic construction worker who is always following the instructions and rules governed by President Business, who is the president of the Octan Corporation and the entire f***ing world. But little to Emmett and the other citizens' knowledge, President Business is actually the evil Lord Business, who plans on using the ultimate superweapon called the Craggle on all the citizens by freezing them with the Craggle. And honestly, could you blame the guy? I mean, he's the president of the entire world, which means that he has to manage and govern all of these regions and places in the entire world. But that isn't the main reason why he blinded Morgan Freeman and stole the Craggle 8.5 years prior to the film's main plot. Because in the film there's this group of individuals known as the Master Builders who have the ability to create and build whatever they want because they're Lego minifigs. However, President Business was confused and angered by their creativity since they heavily deviated from his instructions and rules. So what President Business did was enforce new rules in the world, as well as capturing and imprisoning all Master Builders, which in turn resulted in all the remaining Master Builders to go into hiding for many years. Now I'm totally the first person to say this, but the Lego Movie using licensed characters as Master Builders is just pure genius. Because when you actually think about it, a kid or your average Lego collector is likely to have different minifigs and sets from completely different and unrelated IPs, like DC, Ninjago, Star Wars, Ninja Turtles, and many more. And plus these cameos don't feel like other movies where they're like, hey, look at all these brands we own / got the license to. I mean, the Star Wars cameo itself was really deserved and welcomed, since Star Wars is the oldest and most beloved LEGO license. Plus, it was really damn funny and exciting to see all these Star Wars characters in this movie. Also, I find it hilarious that the only Simpsons character who happens to be a master builder is Milhouse. Just that alone makes all of these cameos justified. Now the film sees Emmett go about his normal average life as a construction worker until he runs into Wildstyle after he was trying to retrieve his instructions. That resulted in Emmett falling into a hole that leads him to a mysterious red brick. Emmett then decides to touch the brick after feeling pressured to do so, despite his instructions warning him not to do so. So after touching the brick, Emmett enters into a psychedelic vision that showcases Vitruvius telling the prophecy from the beginning of the film, as well as other stuff like the man upstairs and a cat, all of which are very important to the plot, even the cat poster, because it's true. Anyways, Emmett wakes up to find himself being interrogated by a cop named Bad Cop, who questions Emmett about the piece of resistance on his back, much to Emmett's confusion, because he's just a normal guy who somehow got himself into this situation. I also gotta mention that Bad Cop has a good side to him called Good Cop. A cop so nice and mellow that he'll give you a glass of water during interrogation. Also, I need to bring this up, but when Liam Neeson was recording his lines for this movie, he actually instantly switched from Bad Cop to Good Cop's voice in the same take.
Oh, you want to talk to this guy? Hi, buddy. Isn't that wild?
Now, Liam Neeson isn't the only actor who does a phenomenal job in this film, because every single actor in this film did a great job, like Will Arnett as Batman, Morgan Freeman as Vitruvius in his first and only animated film, Elizabeth Banks as Wildstyle, and of course you have Chris Pratt as Emmett, long before people on Twitter started hating him for voicing characters like Garfield and Mario. But I still think that Chris did a great job as Emmett, because it just fits his voice. The same thing could be said for the other characters in the film, like Charlie Kelly as Benny, the Federal Wildlife Marshal as President Business, that one girl from Community and Weathering with You as Unikitty, plus many more who all do great jobs in their roles, like Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill as Superman and Green Lantern. A nice little nod to the director's previous film, 21 Jump Street.
My name is Jeff.
Anyways, back to talking about the film. So Emmett soon finds out that he's basically a complete nobody.
He's not that special.
Wait, I'm so confused. Who are we talking about? Wait, does he work with us?
Gail doesn't remember me?
Look at Randy here. He likes sausage. That's something. Gail is perky. That's something. And Harry, well...
When you say Harry, I go... When you say the other guy, I go...
However, Emmett is then saved by Wildstyle from the laser, who tells him that he's the special and the chosen one during this unforgettable chase scene. However, Wildstyle soon finds out that Emmett is literally just a normal guy.
Wait, what's your favorite restaurant?
Any chain restaurant.
Favorite TV show?
Where are my pants?
Favorite song?
Everything is awesome.
Oh no.
To which they end up in the Old West and receive the typical liar reveal trope.
You're not the special, you lied to me!
Well, I mean, it really kind of
You're not even a
on...
master builder, are you?
I mean, I know what a master builder is. Why don't you tell me what it is? That way I could see if you're right.
However, unlike most animated films that use that cliche, this movie doesn't use it by the climax, and it works because we don't see Emmett lie to everyone, with everyone suddenly turning against Emmett when it's revealed that he isn't a master builder. Instead, a lot of characters are pretty chill with Emmett and accept him despite not being a master builder. Even Wildstyle just accepts Emmett for who he is. Now the film carries on with Emmett and Wildstyle finding Vitruvius inside the bar. After that, the main characters get into another amazing and memorable chase scene, with more equally memorable moments. Now, during the chase, Emmett finally thinks of an original idea that's actually useful to the situation going on. And this idea of Emmett putting the wheel on his head to spin around is just pure creative genius, because it shows that the filmmakers actually appreciate the rules of a Lego minifig in its animation. Oh yeah, the animation. How the hell did I go this long and not talk about the animation? Because the animation in this film is absolutely beautiful. I say this because a lot of effort was put into the animation looking like Lego and Lego stop motion, with details such as fingerprints, dust, scratches, and cracks. Hell, even the water, clouds, explosions, and smoke were all made out of Lego bricks. I mean, the animation was just that good and so convincing that I honestly can't blame people for thinking that this movie was stop motion. I mean, even my film school teacher thought that the Lego movie was stop motion. You also gotta give credit to this film for not cheaping out, and not making this look and feel like your typical animated film, but with Lego characters. Similar to previous official Lego films, with some looking a lot better than others. So after falling off a train, the characters are saved by Wildstyle's boyfriend, Batman, who takes them to Cloud Cuckoo Land by flying into the sun, which leads them to Middle Zealand, in which they must drive up a rainbow to get to Cloud Cuckoo Land. The characters then park the car and give the secret knock to enter Cloud Cuckoo Land. Now, Cloud Cuckoo Land itself is a hidden realm with absolutely no rules.
And there's also no consistency.
It's also the place where all the master builders have been hiding for the past 8.5 years. Oh, it's also the home of Unikitty. So a meeting is held inside the dog where all the master builders learn about Lord Business's plan called
the Tentacle Arm Craggle Outside Sprayer, or TACO. The S is silent.
That is set to happen on Taco Tuesday. Things certainly go well because the master builders soon disappointingly find out that Emmett, the special, is just a normal guy. We then meet this pirate guy named Metalbeard, who, fun fact, was originally going to be Wildstyle's boyfriend until Batman was added into the film during development. So anyways, Metalbeard recounts his story of attempting to infiltrate the Octan Tower with his crew. However, the tower had security measures that were completely unexpected, like sharks and laser sharks. Also, as a kid, it always bugged me that the Flash didn't just run down the hallway in this shot. Like, come on, he's the frickin' Flash. All you had to do was just run. Just run, Barry. Run! Anyways, Metalbeard was the only one who actually made it out of the tower with only his head and some organs. Now, after telling his story, Metalbeard ditches the Master Builders right before the Master Builders are attacked.
It's the bad guys.
Now it turns out that
The bad guys
were able to find Cloud Cuckoo Land because Bad Cop put a tracking device on Emmett's ankle earlier in the film. So chaos is happening in Cloud Cuckoo Land, with Master Builders being captured left and right. And both the Batmobile and Invisible Jet get destroyed in a similar manner. Anyways, the main characters meet Benny, who really wants to build a spaceship. However, he can't because the skies are surrounded, which means no spaceship. Emmett then thinks of an original idea that's actually useful to the situation going on. because his only other idea was a double-decker couch. Also, since I mentioned the double-decker couch, I need to mention that it's surprisingly important to the plot in a way, because since it was Emmett's only idea in his life, it resulted in his mind being completely empty. And this is important because since his mind is completely empty, it allowed Emmett to see the men upstairs. Anyways, Emmett thinks of creating a submarine only for Batman to claim the idea. So the main characters escape Cloud Cuckoo Land and end up in the water, while all the other master builders were captured and taken to Lord Business's think tank. Meanwhile, the main characters nearly die in the submarine, but are saved by Emmett's double-decker couch that just kinda showed up earlier inside the submarine.
Why are my pants cold and wet?
The main characters are then saved by Metalbeard, and we even see some character development happen with Emmett, because he plans a heist to infiltrate the Octan Tower to disarm the Kraggle and save the world. In this very memorable montage with a ton of great ideas, such as building an Octan spaceship instead of the spaceship that Benny was making for them, as well as giving almost everyone a respective disguise like having Batman go undercover as Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne? Who's that? Sounds like a cool guy.
Anyways, the heist is going along extremely well and according to plan. We even see more character development because Wildstyle becomes much closer to Emmett and reveals her name to be Lucy. However, as soon as their mission is about to succeed, everything goes wrong as Emmett and friends get captured and Vitruvius is murdered by President Business. Vitruvius then reveals that he completely made up the prophecy right before he dies. After Vitruvius dies, all the main characters get put into the think tank, with Emmett being strapped to a battery. Business then cuts off the piece of resistance and throws it into the abyss, before arming a self-destruct device to kill all the captured Master Builders. Business then betrays Bad Cop and heads off to begin Taco Tuesday. So after all hope is lost, Vitruvius returns as a ghost to tell Emmett that it is his self-belief that makes him the Special. Emmett decides to sacrifice himself by jumping off the edge of the tower into the abyss to disarm the mechanism and save his friends and the Master Builders. After getting inspired by Emmett's sacrifice, Lucy rallies the LEGO people across the universe to use whatever creativity they have to build machines and weapons to fight Business's forces. Even Bad Cop joins the fight after getting backstabbed by Business and having his good side erased earlier in the film. This then leads to a very funny way of having his face restored, as Bad Cop uses a marker to create a new face.
Yay!
Anyways, Benny finally gets to make a spaceship after much anticipation throughout the film, which allows the characters to head to Bricksburg to join the battle against Business's army. Meanwhile, Emmett is actually alive and is currently falling through a wormhole that leads him to the real world. Now it turns out that the events of the film and Emmett's life are being played out in a basement by a boy named Finn. Now Finn's father is revealed to be the man upstairs. Quite possibly one of the greatest plot twists of all time. Anyways, Will Ferrell then chastises his son for creating hodgepodges of different playsets. He then begins to permanently glue his perceived perfect creations together with more Kraggles. Realizing the danger happening, Emmett wills himself to move and it eventually gains the attention of Finn. Finn then returns Emmett and the piece of resistance to Bricksburg, with a nice little reference to an old brick film called The Magic Portal. Emmett returns and finally becomes a master builder where he joins the battle and later confronts Lord Business. Emmett then convinces Business through a speech that creativity is not messy or weird, and that it's okay for people to build brand new ideas from all things Business himself had made, which makes Business just as special as everyone else. Similar events also happen in the real world as Will Ferrell looks at his son's creations and realizes that he is completely suppressing his son's own creativity. Finn even tells his father that he's also special and has the power to change everything. Will Ferrell eventually reconciles with his son, which plays out as Business getting reformed by Emmett's speech after being considered special, just like Will Ferrell in the real world. Business then applies the piece of resistance on the Kraggle, which soon causes the Kraggle to explode, deactivating all his robots and unfreezing his victims. So anyways, the world has finally been restored. Lucy and Emmett enter a relationship with Batman's blessing, because Batman was honestly too good for Lucy anyways. He needed me instead. Anyways, Will Ferrell then grants his son's permission to play with the Lego sets, as well as his sister.
What?
This then causes Duplo aliens to arrive in the Lego universe, and threaten destruction that perfectly sets up a sequel that me and many others anticipated for 5 goddamn years. So in conclusion, what else is there to say about this film other than that it's great and absolutely perfect? Because that's literally all I could have said during this whole video. Because there's absolutely nothing bad to say about this great movie. Now, the Lego Movie would go on to become a great success, both critically and commercially, which led to a toy line, obviously, 2 spin-offs, and a sequel that I'll talk about when each of them turn 10. So in 2027 and 2029. Anyways, the Lego Movie is a film that still holds up very well after 10 years. It has spectacular animation, a lot of passion and effort, not just in its animation, but its spectacular voice cast and attention to details such as the little details on the Lego minifigs, as well as the way the characters move, and hell, even the entire sets and models they built for the live action scenes. Oh, you also can't forget about the real objects like the Kraggle and the other real life objects in President Business's trophy room, or Vitruvius's staff just being a chewed up lollipop. The film itself also has an excellent screenplay, soundtrack, and direction. In general, this film deserves more recognition and respect by everyone. Not just a few cinephiles or animation fans, I mean everyone. So because of how great this movie is, it still remains in my list of top 10 favorite movies to this day. And it's a movie that everyone should watch at least once in their life. So with that, thanks for watching, and thank you Lego Movie for making everything awesome.